Kathy Hochul becomes governor tonight at midnight, New York's first female executive. And she inherits a bunch of urgent issues. COVID-19, of course, cleanup after Hurricane Henri, a simmering crisis over housing and evictions. There's also something else, a state of emergency that Governor Cuomo declared, not about COVID-19, but about gun violence. It expires at the beginning of next month. We read the tea leaves on Kathy Hochul's gun control record to see what she'll do about it on today's Story of the Day.
Support for Story of the Day is brought to you by Claxton Hepburn Medical Center, remaining dedicated to providing high-quality, personalized care to patients. ClaxtonHepburn.org.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Monday, August 23rd. First up, Andrew Cuomo gave a pre-recorded farewell speech today, his last as New York's governor.
We didn't get everything done that we wanted to, or even everything we should have done. And we didn't always get it quite right. But I want you to know, from the bottom of my heart, that every day I worked my hardest. I gave it my all, and I tried my best to deliver for you.
Cuomo highlighted the accomplishments of his 3 terms in the executive mansion, including same-sex marriage, raising the minimum wage, and criminal justice reform. That legacy, however, will be tarnished by the multiple scandals that led to Cuomo's resignation. Cuomo took one more shot at the Attorney General's probe that concluded he sexually harassed 11 women. He defended himself and called the report a political firecracker.
I understand that there are moments of intense political pressure and media frenzy that cause a rush to judgment. But that is not right. It's not fair or sustainable.
Cuomo wished Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul success in her new job. She'll become governor just after midnight tonight. NCPR will broadcast her first address to New Yorkers as governor tomorrow afternoon at 3. You can listen live on the radio or online at ncpr.org. Kathy Hochul plans to require masks in schools across New York when she takes over as governor tomorrow. Andrew Cuomo had relied on his emergency powers as governor to require masks, but Hochul says the state health department has the authority to issue the mask mandate.
I've done the due diligence to determine the authority that is vested in the Department of Health, and I expect to be making an announcement on that very shortly on Tuesday. But people should be ready.
Another thing Hochul will have to be ready for, the expiration of Cuomo's state of emergency regarding an increase in gun violence. He issued it in July, and it sunsets on September 4th. So what will a Governor Hochul do about it? Ryan Finnerty looked into her past positions on gun control.
Speaking several weeks before the recent resurgence of COVID-19 and investigation that fatally wounded his political career, Governor Andrew Cuomo declared a different kind of epidemic was plaguing America.
We went from one epidemic to another epidemic. We went from COVID to the epidemic of gun violence. 51 were shot, 13 died of COVID over the July 4th weekend.
Cuomo went on to declare a state of emergency over gun crime, but the political and pandemic winds shifted dramatically over the ensuing weeks. Now it will be up to incoming Governor Kathy Hochul whether or not to continue the state's emergency footing on gun violence, currently set to expire on September 4th. Hochul's transition office did not respond to a request for comment on the matter. In the past, Hochul has been a supporter of gun rights, even earning a favorable rating from the National Rifle Association while representing Western New York in Congress in 2012. But after a break following a losing bid for re-election, Hochul returned to the political scene to run for lieutenant governor with a far more liberal agenda, highlighted in this 2014 campaign ad.
In the most Republican district in the state of New York, I campaigned hard to fight the Paul Ryan Tea Party budget that would have decimated Medicare and left our seniors out in the cold. And despite the politics of my district, I never back down from our core Democratic values: pro-choice, pro-marriage equality, and pro-worker values.
That shift reflects the political necessity of running for statewide office, where the median voter is far to the left of Hochul's former congressional district. That subsequent shift included moving to the left on guns. During that 2014 campaign, Hochul called the failure of Congress to pass background check legislation following the Sandy Hook Elementary massacre a disgrace, and she doubled down on support for the Cuomo administration's signature gun control law, the SAFE Act, passed in the wake of that same shooting. Speaking at a pro-gun control rally near New Paltz in 2018, Hochul came out in strong support of other measures, including so-called red flag laws.
We're talking about banning assault weapons. We did it here in New York. Background checks. What's wrong with making sure that people who shouldn't have guns don't have them?
Hochul also walked back her earlier positions on other issues, like opposition to providing New York State ID cards to undocumented immigrants. She addressed that change of heart earlier this month in Albany during her first public remarks after Cuomo's resignation announcement.
I had taken a position that has now evolved, and that evolution coincides with the evolution of many people in the state of New York.
That evolution will likely continue. Kathy Hochul has already declared she intends to run for a full term as governor in 2022. Ryan Finnerty, North Country Public Radio.
We have more news all the time on our website, ncpr.org. Music today by Christopher Watts of Canton and Eddie Lawrence of Moira. I'm David Sommerstein, North Country Public Radio.